0-5 for Max. It is what it is. He got on a ledge with some of his picks.
Hey, listen, I got screwed over by 3 teams. Okay.
Oh, for 5?
Yeah.
Oh my.
Yanks of the Round Table, match week 3 in the Premier League. And as usual, as part of our weekly segment, we are here today in our video to predict how we feel these matches are going to go. If you're brand new to this channel, first and foremost, do me a favor, subscribe down below, like the video. We're going to be predicting and previewing 5 specific matches, as we did in our last week's video, 5 specific matches from match day 3. And talking a little bit about how match day 2 went, making some quick fire predictions for the remaining matches at the very end. It's going to be a great time. And as usual, I'm joined today by Maxi Gaming, by Barca Boy 103. We got United fan, Arsenal fan in here, a random Barca Boy, Arsenal hater combo in there. So it's going to be a good episode.
City lover.
Hey, slow your roll, slow your roll.
It's a good time right now to like City. It's a good time right now to like City. They look really, really good. But we'll talk about it. They are on the agenda for today in terms of a preview. They were not on the agenda last week because, let's face it, they were playing Ipswich. All right, lads, before we jump into those preview and predictions for those 5 matches, this is how last week went. All right. I'm going to go through prediction standings. This is really how things turned out in week 1. Things will get better. They will get better, right? For everybody involved. Nobody had a stellar week, but one of us did not have a good week by any means, and Max knows who it was. 0-5 for Max. It is what it is. He got on a ledge with some of his picks.
Hey, listen, I got screwed over by 3 teams. Okay.
Oh, for 5?
Yeah.
Oh my.
It is what it is, bro. Hey, again, like Andre said with the Madrid game, it's still
early, but
still early.
That's hard as going 5-0.
Yeah.
Well, you guys all picked the same. You guys all picked the same teams to do. I was like,
no, not true, not true. I went out on a ledge on a couple of mine. They just backfired. Like I picked Bournemouth to win. It was a draw. It is what it is. I picked Wolves to win. Chelsea ended up winning. Like I actually. Did I pick Bournemouth to win? I think I did. You picked. Yeah, I can tell you really quick.
I said Newcastle. And that was a draw.
Yeah, I picked Newcastle. And
yeah, it is. That's the thing, right? I think if we picked draw, if you rode the fence, it technically counted as an L, right? Because like that was the only prediction that we had. So again, nuance to all of this. By the way, there was a cheeky comment for Max in the last video. I thought that was pretty funny. When mentioned something, I guess it was a Brighton fan. He wasn't a big fan of how you talked about Brighton, but
what else is new?
But yeah, it is what it is.
Brighton fans, well, first of all, Brighton fans do not like us at all.
At all. It's the only fan base we pissed off. And you know what's crazy about that is I actually like Brighton. Actually, as a team, I have nothing against Brighton. I like the way they play. The system works. They cycle managers. Nothing skips a beat. I have nothing against Hove Nation, but here we are. It is what it is. So anyway, lads, this is how it's turned out. Again, these are the 5 predictions and previews that we made last week. We're going to add the 5 previews from this week onto this tally. So we're going to keep this thing rolling all season long. There will be recaps video over video. So stay tuned. All right. This is where we stand today. Max has another opportunity to completely shift the standings with this video this week.
5 goes 5 the other way around this time.
Could you imagine, bro?
And by the way, I also bet on these games, and I'm pretty sure I lost all that money. I literally think the Villa game too. Yeah, the Villa. I lost good money on the Villa game.
Yeah, the Arsenal haters were down bad this past weekend. It was a good feeling. It was a good feeling.
Game is game.
Game is game.
Hey, at least I backed my picks for my own money. You know.
Yeah, bro. Hey, facts. That's what I'm saying. We'll stand by our picks. That's the whole point. It holds us accountable. But let us know in the comments down below. I mean, if you saw video 1, first off, if you haven't seen it, go check it out. These standings will make a whole lot more sense. But let us know how you're feeling about these matches that we're going to preview this week. All right, let's jump into it. The first one is the Brighton early game. It is my boys on the agenda for that the opening game. I hate it. Max talked about it last week. It's like it feels weird, like being the first game of the match day. The lads are eating pasta, hours sooner than they normally would. Everything takes place a little bit sooner. I feel like it just throws me off. But anyway, I'll be up at the crack of dawn for this one. Arsenal hosting Brighton, and man, I'll be honest, man. This Brighton team, it wasn't even just watching them against United, but they looked good, and they looked good, of course, against Everton. I don't know if it's Hertzler per se. I think he is a good coach, right? He brought St. Pauli back up in the Bundesliga. Like, he knows what he's doing. But I feel like it's got strong De Zerbi vibes in a good way. Although I feel like more consistent than De Zerbi. I feel like De Zerbi constantly rotated the lineup so much last season. where Hertzler, I feel like, is adding some consistency. And I feel like a lot of teams are scared of Brighton right now, and me included. I think this is going to be a hell of a battle, kind of to open up the Premier League weekend. But lads, before I give my prediction, let's kind of turn it over to you guys, because you don't like Arsenal, so this is a perfect opportunity to kind of flex that. Let's start with Barca boy. Hafid, the 2-0 win at Villa. Did anything stand out to you?
I would say Arsenal's resilience, despite going to halftime 0-0, being under pressure a little bit, missing some big chances as well, they plow through it. That's what champion teams are made of. I do think that Arsenal will win this game. I think Arsenal at the Emirates are a hard team to beat, and we saw that, of course, last season. I know Brighton used to get results over Arsenal back in the day at home, but with Arsenal kind of having a different mindset going into the season, I think it'll be a tough challenge for Brighton. I think even a point would be a massive, coup for Brighton. But this being the first game, putting pressure on the other teams as well, like City and Liverpool, to perform in their matches, it's a great opportunity for Arsenal to not only win the game and put a stance on the title race, but also to, put pressure on their opponents as well. I think it would be a mission and a half for Brighton to get any points from this game.
Bro, honestly, I agree with you. If they took even a point, not only would it be a massive disappointment for the Arsenal fan base, but you have to believe at that point Brighton's for real. Like, I don't know, where did you guys, if you guys had built that full 20 preseason of like where every club ranks, in the Prem going into this year, where did you guys have Brighton?
So between I would say 13th and 9th.
I was gonna
somewhere
say 10,
around there.
I was gonna say like a 10, 11, 9.
Yeah. Like if they finish top half, I'll consider that a successful season. With the reinforcement that West Ham have made, the height that we have on Crystal Palace on the channel from our end a little bit, how well the other teams have strengthened to kind of level up their stance this season. So I think if they finish top half, I think that would be a really good season for them, especially with kind of them going under the radar. I think in our prediction video they only made like 1 or 2 signings. Since then they signed about 8 players. So
and it's kind of crazy. O'Reilly, that guy that just signed from Celtic, he's already injured.
Yeah.
It sucks.
But they signed that left back from Turkey. I really like him. Yeah. He's a good player.
Yeah.
And I also really rate Max Pfeiffer as well, who they signed earlier on.
Why is that board and front office backing Hertzler with so many signings? I feel like Brighton doesn't do this like ever. They don't reinforce like this.
That guy saved the money. They're finally splashing.
Yeah, I was gonna say they splashed. They're splashing some money. And I think this season they're looking to get back into a European spot. So I think they're trying to back him and hope to get back into another European spot. They had a little taste of it last year, and they
I mean, injuries fuck them. It is what it
injuries
is.
Fuck, yeah. So I mean, I think they want to push for another European spot, whether it's Conference League or Europa League.
Yeah, and like it's not even just Caicedo money too, right? Because who else do they cash in on? There's more than a few players.
They gross leave one free. They gross leave free.
They got like some money for him, not a
lot, right?
Yeah. But if you even think back to like the Trossard deal, the Ben White deal, like I don't remember Brighton ever really spending a ton from those sales, right? It's like they would buy a 5 million player here, a 10 million player here. They never really went all in on a complete rebuild. And I feel like they're giving Hertzler every weapon this season. I don't know. It's kind of wild. So, but anyway, look, Max, I wanted to get your take on this because I think you just played Brighton United. It was actually a good performance, especially the first half. The first half was great, a great performance by United. Things kind of fell off when Mason Mount got forced off. And he's now out again.
Now hurt. Yeah.
Yeah. And so, but you saw kind of what Brighton threw at you, and you guys, like I said, it kind of fell to the last minute. I mean, yeah, there's some woeful defending at the end, but do you think after now playing against Brighton this past weekend that they have any kind of chance against Arsenal?
To be honest, no, I don't. I have Arsenal winning this game. Hopefully it's a reverse jinx, but and I'm just being serious. For Arsenal, I think Arsenal really have pressed me against Villa. That was a really, really good game, especially the second half. It's as Hafid nailed it, great resilience, and Saka's having a hell of a season already. But this Brighton team, they're good. I think they're good. I think United either deserved the draw or should have won that game wholeheartedly, but
I agree.
That doesn't, that's not how football works. When one mistake can cost you a game, which is what happened. But that one mistake doesn't determine that Brighton was the better team that day. I truly think United were a better team that day. It's just unlucky and then, didn't finish. I will say I was absolutely correct that Ten Hag was going to keep that same lineup, the exact same lineup. But now he won't.
Because he has to change it now.
Well, he has to change it now. But now we're gonna see a completely different lineup when it comes to Liverpool. But we'll talk about that when we get to that game.
Yeah.
But I think Arsenal will probably take this like 2-0. I don't know if I think Brighton's good, but the way Arsenal's playing right now, they have like they're fire in their eyes. Like they want the league this year, and they know that this is. And we talked about it, how this could be Pep's last year, and winning the league after Pep is kind of like, well, that's not
it feels watered down.
It feels like it's
on your
just
fourth try as well.
Yeah,
yeah. It doesn't have the same. It wouldn't be as enjoyable. It
will be for Arsenal. They will be title since the Invincibles, right? So it'll still be huge for them.
True, but like it would just feel so much better to do it while Pep is in the league. It really would.
Yeah. So I think Arsenal's probably gonna win this game.
Yeah, I agree. I think it will be close. I think it'll feel like how this fixture went last year at this time. It was a 2-0 that wasn't comfortable, but it was a clinical 2-0. I think it's going to be something like that, where they still find ways to put us under pressure at times, to suffer slightly at times, but create some chaos like Villa did. Give Villa all the credit, right? Like they put us under. If Ollie Watkins had bagged that first open fucking net, you don't even know how that game goes, right? Exactly. Like if you didn't do that. Yeah. If Raya didn't make that crazy ass save, you have no idea how the second half goes, right? So football works this way, but I do expect Arsenal to make it 3 for 3 and keep it going, just because mainly they're at home and this is a team who does want to win the title.
I will add that if they still play that high line, I think Arsenal will do way better than United. I mean, we were just caught off offsides every single time, and if we just had at least 2 or 3 of them that we caught them on that offside trap or the high line, we would have at least scored 3 goals. But
yeah, you would have exposed them for sure.
I
was wondering that too, because like De Zerbi would stick to his principles no matter what. Yeah, I don't know if Hurstler's going to do that.
If he does that, you guys will probably punish them more than we did.
Yeah, I guess we'll find out. It'll be interesting. I think we all collectively back Arsenal here. They should win. It would be a crazy disappointment if they did not. The season's still young. You never know. But we fully expect Arsenal to win this game. It will be a good game, though. I'm excited for being up early for that one.
All right.
All right. Relax. Calma. All right. Moving on to our second game. This one's interesting for a few reasons, mainly because you still technically have an undefeated Nottingham Forest side competing against Wolves at home. Nuno Espirito Santo somehow has his side in 7th place. Granted, coming off of the 1-0 win at Southampton, I will say this, because I did go back and watch the game, in a game where they had a million fucking chances. Like, if they had even one remotely clinical player in that attack, that's an attack that includes Chris Wood, who I think is half decent, I guess, as a striker. But, man, they really could have run it up on Southampton. And Southampton could have scored a couple times, but Forest had this one, and it's against that lower tier competition in this league. You want them to kind of be a little more clinical and kind of get into, I don't know, make this a much more difficult game for Southampton than they did. But is what it is. Dub's a dub. Game is game, as Hoffman would say. And then you have Wolves, who got slapped up in their own fucking stadium. But honestly, did you guys not feel like Wolves could have been up by like a couple goals at half had they just not had the goal called back by Cunha, had they not been randomly offsides on another one, or just finished the I don't know how many opportunities they got in the first half.
That first half was honestly wasn't as expected. I expected it to be a close game where both ends of the pitch there was going to be chances. It's always the case when Wolves face one of the top 6 at the Millennium, where chances fly in all the time. So it being 2-2 at halftime didn't really surprise me too much. But it did surprise me is that the next 4 Chelsea chances were all goals. So it just shows how clinical they were in the final third. But this will be an interesting one. I think this game will definitely not, put a real strong tell, but will give a good indication on who's truly going to be in that relegation battle. I don't think Wolves are quite there. There's, of course, been a great signing today in Andre from Fluminense. If you're on the channel for a long time, that Max has been blazing him for quite some time now to go to United.
I really want United, man.
Hey, but we got there. You're good.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. So we'll see. I think, of course, with this being at the City Ground, it will be, a massive advantage for Forest, especially with Wolves' poor start. I still think Wolves are a better team. They're still a better coach team as well. So it's up to them to really get their first points of the season in a difficult away ground. But Forest, like we talked about with Madrid before we started recording, the first few games are always a good tell. You drop points, all of a sudden now they're 4 points behind Barcelona. If Forest can win this game or even get a point, they're all of a sudden looking pretty good. I think we unanimously all had Forest going down as well. So
none of us really rate this manager or this team. Like I think we all collectively had them going down. So is this a must win, considering how bad we talked about it in the preseason, right? How bad of a stretch to open up the season it is for Wolves, just schedule wise, it's very difficult. Is this game has to be a must win for them then, right? Just to get something out of this 2-month spell.
So for my prediction for the manager that I think was probably get sacked first was the Wolves manager. And this is the game that I think if they don't win, it's gonna he's not gonna get sacked after this game. But in October, because after this game they have I think they have City, they have a tough schedule right after this game.
The big six, basically.
Pretty much. So if this is an absolute must-win game for them, because they're going to start off the season 0-6, and yeah, I mean Gary O'Neill is he's a good manager, and I'm sure that they obviously can see the schedule is brutal at first, but getting smacked 6-2 at home against Chelsea does not help. Losing against Forest, who they shouldn't lose. I mean, obviously in the away games are always tough, but Wolves are, to me and to a lot of us, are a better team than Forest. So there's a game that they should win. And if they don't win this game, he's probably going to be scapegoated. And that's why he was my prediction, because this game is the most important game that he's going to have to play. That's going to have to happen for the next, within the 6 weeks.
Yeah, I'd like to have better players too, frankly.
Yeah,
I don't know why. Lamina, Cunha. I rate these guys, over. I mean, nothing wrong with Forest, right? Morgan Gibbs White's cool. Chris Wood's okay as a striker. I'm not like sold when I see this team on paper. But with Wolves, I'm like, they have some ballers.
They have talent. They have talent.
But losing Max Kilman this defense is shocking. And I'll be honest, I know he doesn't defend for shit. Like, homie doesn't defend. He doesn't come back at all. Like,
but he kept everything. But he kept it together back there for them.
Yeah. It's not bad. It's just like, I don't know. Gary O'Neill's got to figure this out. I rate him as a manager, but he's got to figure this out. There has to be some pressure on him already. Like, there just has to be.
I'm telling you, if they would have lost to Chelsea, maybe like 2-1, like a close game, like Hoffett said, but getting smacked at home 6-2 week 2 is like, it's not good.
It's not even that. Just how the way that how they scored 4 goals in a row.
Yeah, it's just
I'm just wondering what would have happened to Mosquera's if he had scored that header, that point blank header in the first 10 minutes. On the corner where he just blatantly missed that shit. I feel like Kilman would have bagged that, but if he would have gotten that, I just wonder how the game would have turned out if Wolves had gotten on the score sheet first and like just kind of figure out a way to actually control the game and not let Chelsea run away with it. I don't know, man. And then we'll talk about. I mean, as far as Chelsea goes, like, which we're not previewing them today specifically, but Madueke had a hell of a game against Wolves. I just wanted to ask this because I think it was really interesting. It's not just us who had the conversation, but in general, everybody seems to be having it. Should Madueke be the starter?
I don't know if we talked about it last week on camera, but if it wasn't or it's off, I'm the one who said Madueke should be the right wing starter. I literally said that.
Yeah. Well, should he be over the likes of Joao Felix, over Pedro Neto, the 2 acquisitions they just made? I mean, is he the guy?
Even last season when he finally got healthy and he started playing, like, he played well for Chelsea. Like, he played well on the right side. So he should at least have the chance to start over Joao Felix and Pedro. Plus, Pedro Neto plays better on the left, so that would be more competition for not Madueke, Mudryk and Joao Felix. Yeah. So, and I guess as we said, is it better for Cole Palmer to play more central or on the wing? And I said on the right wing, but he's probably going to have to be more. He's going to have to play more central due to the fact that they hired they signed all these wingers. Yeah. So I do think Madueke should be. And after this weekend, I don't know if it's concrete, but he definitely should start next week again on the right wing.
What's kind of crazy is that he's played 36 matches for Chelsea in the Premier League, and he started 21 of them up to this point. So he's kind of just above 50-60%, right? I think he should take a big step up this season and be the guy. Like, if he's going to do it, this is the season to do it, right? The production hasn't always been there, but that's just been true of Chelsea, like, in general. I think he's got 9 goals and 2 assists so far in his Chelsea career. And that includes the 3 he bagged against Wolves. Like, that's all great. And I think that even those numbers are probably stand out in comparison to some of the other wingers on Chelsea. So, like, I agree with you. I think he should at least be in that conversation. He did start today against whatever fucking conference league team they were playing that they lost to.
Savant, whatever.
Almost got knocked out.
Yeah, almost got knocked out. It's kind of crazy, but and granted, he played 60 minutes. I don't think any Chelsea player was really invested in that game, if I'm being honest. Like, I saw Nico Jackson walking around, I saw Cole Palmer walking around after he came on. Like, I think they're eyeing the league and trying to get back to where they know they can be. So maybe Madueke is the guy. I don't really know, but I'm sure Enzo will give him more chances as the season goes on. So we'll find out. But as far as this game goes, are we all back in Forest? Who's got Wolves? Who's got Wolves?
I don't have Wolves.
I have a draw.
A draw.
Mm-hmm. I see this
man.
being like a 1-1, and I feel like it'll be Forest who score first, and then Wolves come back like 70th minute Jemmy equalizer, and the game ends elsewhere.
Mateus Cunha equalizer.
Bro, I think I'm gonna let my bias get in the way here. I think I had Forrest going down, and I back Gary O'Neill. I'm gonna back Wolves in this one. I think Wolves will get their first points, hopefully maximum points, right? 3 points on the road, and now just use that as a springboard to make these other crazy difficult matchups actually a game, right? Like make it difficult for those opponents that we know Wolves can do time and time again. So, all right, we're all split across the board. I like that one. I like that one.
I have Forrest.
You go to Forest? Dang, Max.
That's crazy, bro. If Forest go 3 games undefeated,
I'll still back him to go down.
You still back him to go down? So let me ask this. If Forest go 3 games undefeated and Everton lose 3 straight to open the season, you still back Everton to stay up?
Yes, because Everton have the Sean Dyche factor.
Bro,
absolutely. Absolutely.
You got to like these teams that are lower tier, they go on stretches where they can look like they're a decent side, and then all of a sudden they just lose 5 games in a row.
Those dog days of winter. I agree.
Yeah.
I agree.
So this is they're just lucky to have an easier schedule.
True.
Wolves.
Yeah, I agree with that. We'll see how it goes. But yeah, we're split across the board for this game. Moving into our third matchup. This to me is interesting. A decent game on paper considering how West Ham have reinforced, but historically, City run this fucking matchup. Quick stat on this game before we jump into it. West Ham have not beaten City in the Premier League. Guess since when? Guess what year? Give me a year. Throw it out there.
2016.
That's close.
I feel like it's then where they got like a Jemmy win at the London Stadium.
It's gotta be what has to be in 2015?
2014.
2014.
Oh.
Jeez, bro.
Man,
Holy
Brazil World
shit.
Cup. Holy.
It has been a decade since
great.
West Ham have taken down Manchester City in the Premier League. It's always either been a draw or a win for Manchester City.
Look what you're making me do. What are the odds of that happening? So.
I don't want it to impact your thinking too much with this one. Just letting you know it's been quite some time.
You talking about a decade? Nah, man, shit.
3 World Cups have passed.
Yeah, exactly, bro. Exactly. With that in mind, West Ham, coming into this, they look at a slightly better side. I expect Fulkrug to probably get the start. He did start in that League Cup match against Bournemouth during the week. He was okay. I thought he was fine. But I think they're going to need every reinforcement possible for this one. With that said, interesting storyline for West Ham going into this one. What the hell's going on with JWP?
She's on the move.
Yeah, he's going to Forest.
It's so weird, bro.
It's so fucking weird. He's on the move.
Well, why? I feel like he had a lot of season last season.
They do have a lot. They're picking Guedo Rodriguez over James Ward-Prowse. That was mind-boggling.
Yeah.
I don't know.
And then plus they keep putting JWP in the 6, and that's not what he is.
Yeah,
no, he's a 6. Yeah,
they're pretty heavy in that position. I'm just saying, like, I just don't know why he's the guy. You know what I mean?
Be a decent pickup for a top team, I think, just as like a squad player, like a United, an Arsenal, a Chelsea, someone like that.
Yeah, just to add some depth, bro. Imagine JWP coming off the bench to like just see out a game.
I would take that in a heartbeat. I'd rather have JWP than fucking Rabiot. I'll tell you that right now.
I think he's underrated. I think he's an underrated center midfielder. I really, it's not just his free kick ability. It's legitimately just the way he plays. I don't know. I rate him.
He's a natural Premier League player.
Yeah, I agree. But talking about this game and like whether or not JWP features in it, West Ham, they go to Selhurst Park, clinical 2-0 win against Palace. Jared Bowen gets on the score sheet, does his thing as he always does. Is he going to be an impact at all against City?
The only way that West Ham can get a result in this game is if they score first. Really put the pressure on City.
Yeah.
Both you hesitated so much, bro. It's just like, I don't fucking know.
I feel like it's a bit too. If this was like in February or March, I'd be really intrigued. I just think it's too early with the new signing still being integrated. Wan-Bissaka ain't starting. Neither is Todibo, and then
Wan-Bissaka looked good. I'll be honest. He looked good. I don't know, man. I feel like United fans always gave him shit. Like
I never gave him shit. I wanted to keep Wan-Bissaka.
Yeah, but like I don't know why Dalot was always so preferred over Wan-Bissaka, and it's just like
he's just a more balanced player. He's like Wan-Bissaka is very much like Jules Koundé. He'll defend very well, and then going forward, he's just like so mediocre or so 50-50. He's a good player to have on.
But even some of those runs against Palace, not great, it's Palace, but like some of those runs, bro, he was moving forward, moving the ball well. Like
I mean, he's team as well.
He's done that at United more than what people can probably remember. But he was capable of doing that at United. I just think I don't want to go into it, but Wan-Bissaka is definitely a great, and he was playing left back at some point too for West Ham. I think it was during the cup this week.
Yeah, I was like the way that they can, they're going to move him around a little bit, left or the right side. He gives Sufal a little bit of a break, Emerson a little bit of a break. Like I feel like he's just a good signing for West Ham. It's just crazy to see because I feel like United fans as a collective on the timeline didn't really rate his time at United all that well. But hey, I mean, like I said, it doesn't make a player bad. It just might not be the right scenario or situation for him. So, I'm glad that he found a spot where hopefully he can thrive. But it looks like it's going to be a good signing for them.
I hope so. I love Wan-Bissaka.
Yeah, and speaking of signings, Gundogan, I guess you could say, comes home for City. He probably will start in this game simply because right now Kovacic is for whatever reason doubtful at the moment. Rodri's still probably going to be out for this one. Foden probably still out for this one. So I expect Gundo, De Bruyne. Yeah, I guess so, man. I probably maybe him in like an Enrico Lewis scenario, because it won't be Mateus Nunes. There's no way. There's no shot.
Well, apparently Pep wants to keep Nunes. Doesn't want to send him out on loan to Atletico. So.
Oh, really? I thought he wanted. I thought he was going to Atletico.
No, I read today from the Times that Pep wants to keep him. So maybe he's still
only as a depth piece. Like I don't see him starting.
I never rated Mateus Nunes. I remember when he was after his first season at Wolves, Liverpool were really, really keen on him, and they couldn't strike a deal with Wolves. Then City just came in and splashed like 50 million on him. But I thought he was all right. I never rated him. I still don't. But apparently, he's got all the juice that these managers like. But yeah, I
don't know. I mean,
City's definitely winning this game.
I think he's not a good fit for City. But with that midfield, so it's going to be like Rico Lewis, Gundo. And of the four, De Bruyne and Silva as like that box, that square that they'll probably play in the middle of the park.
That winger duo of Savio and Doku. Oof.
It's kind of
the way Savio drew that PK against Ipswich, but the way he drew it, I'm like, dude, this is gonna happen.
I know he has Mahrez' number, but he's moving a bit like he's moving like a fast Mahrez. It's crazy.
And
I think it was strategic, bro. I think it was strategic to give
Doku on the right is just unfair.
I'm telling you, the only thing missing from his locker is like clinical finishing. Yeah,
the Wan-Bissaka is an elite defender, so he might. I think he'll probably he'll keep Doku relatively quiet.
But then you got to worry about Savio, and then you got to worry about overloads on Savio's side, the quick switch back to Doku, finding Holland in the middle. I mean, there's just going to be so much at play from City's standpoint. I expect them fully to control this game. I agree. I think if West Ham get any results at home, it'll be a draw, if that. But that's the only thing they've ever been able to pull from City over the last 10 years.
Mm-hmm. So, I think again, this game was a bit later in the season, like February and March, where West Ham kind of like been fully like seated in. It'd be way more interesting because with the new signings, like, coming in, we're seeing Fulkrug in and now Todibo. Guido Rodriguez has been the most consistent signing for them, surprisingly, out of all like the star signings they've made this summer. But I just think that they're still trying to get, used to it. Of course, losing the first game, then, a tough way at Selhurst Park against Crystal Palace where they didn't score until like the 60th minute, 75th minute? Yeah, like later on. So I think if City score first and control the game early on, it'll be a smooth sailing. But if West Ham can, nick a goal early on, put the pressure on City, they can definitely make things a bit harder for the champions.
Yeah, and I think that West Ham have a better chance of doing that than Ipswich when they scored first, right? Like,
yeah,
Ipswich.
I wasn't even like, the City's still gonna win this. Like, who cares?
Yeah, City's gonna win it, but I'm just happy. Like, we showed some fight against the champions.
So I saw my friend told me there's a report some guy in UK bet Ipswich to score first against City. The odds were like the odds were like 10,000 plus 10,000, something like that. It was so high,
bro. I'm not gonna lie. I'm just happy that I triple capped Holland in FPL. That worked out well, bro. It worked out really well. He got, I don't know what it was. It's stupid, like 51 points. It was fucking crazy. Yeah. That was the game to do it. But yeah, man, I think if I'm being non-biased here, I expect City to win. City should win this game. If I would say a draw, but that's just me being hopeful. So I'm going to back City. I think Hoppett's in the same boat from what I just heard. Yeah. Max, I want just United fan. I don't know if maybe you're,
I'm 0 for 5, guys. I need to get some points here.
Gotta make us around. Can't afford a hot take today.
If last week a little bit better.
I'm still baffled by that. 0-5 is as hard as 5-0. Like,
well, it is.
But hard. The West Ham and Crystal Palace game was looking great for a draw until fucking Crystal Palace shit the bed. So,
bro, in that game, by the way, I will say this: as they looked fine. Crystal Palace shot themselves in the foot. They had more than enough opportunities. And look, I will back y'all's boy Mateta. Nobody fed that dude the ball. Nobody. Like
nobody.
I now think Mateta's key to success late last season was Olise, and now he's gone. And
that's also
Eze doesn't even want to find
it. Towards the end of the season, Eze was hurt, and it was only Olise.
Bro, Mateta was making runs in behind the West Ham back line, and Eze didn't even look up. Say, nah, I'm taking myself every fucking time. I'm like, dude, you gotta let go of the fucking ball at some point. Like. I feel like Eze just believes he's the best guy in that team, and
he's not going to do it all.
Yeah,
that's what
he's just not going to share.
is.
I don't know, man. Maybe I'm being harsh. I just felt like there were 3-4 times where I'm like, dude, Mateta was right there. You just give it to him, and he probably has a good shot on goal, but it never turned out that
goal
way.
for the Emirates, don't worry.
Stop, bro. Stop channeling that bullshit, man. We're not doing that.
Even Arsenal with like 5-1. Give me Mateta goal.
No.
No. Give me Mateta.
I'll be honest, that would still hurt.
Give me Mateta brace.
If scored, it doesn't even matter who it is.
You will never hit the enemy.
We're getting
you will never hit the enemy. Mateta brace.
Mute the fucking
you better. Lord have mercy, Arsenal. You better.
Like Andre, like today, when Madrid drops points, like, man, and mute that shit. I'm not gonna fucking deal with it today. That's how it is, man. That's how it is. All right, on to the fourth matchup. We all collectively. Oh wait, Max, you're back City. Just to put a stamp on it. Yeah, there you go. No hot takes today. City. All right, moving into the fourth matchup. Newcastle hosting Tottenham. Big game. I think big game for both sides. This one is one where they're both trying to prove their top four. Newcastle starting off, I think, pretty much on par with how we thought.
No, they've looked awful.
I didn't rate Newcastle as some of you guys
results wise, but yeah.
I had Newcastle like right there around like 7th or 8th. Like they really weren't a team that I thought was going to be lights out like we've seen in past seasons. So to me, they're kind of like what I thought they would be so far. Like get the result. That's all that matters. Tottenham, kind of the same book, minus the Leicester City result. I thought they should have won that game. Yes, that's what I'm saying. Yeah. They looked good in that game. They should have got the result. It's just Spursy, you know what I mean? Like,
yeah.
I'm still Spursy this game. I don't remember the last time Tottenham got a decent result at St. James's Park.
Yeah, last time, by the way, just to put a stamp on that, the last time they visited St. James Park, they lost
like 4-0. Yeah,
they lost 4-0.
It was 4-0. The season before that was like 6-1. Remember when Newcastle
God, you're right, bro. Yeah. St. James Park has not been good to them by any means.
No.
Yeah.
So it makes this game interesting, but that's why I wanted to go into this part of the preview with. I asked the same question about the Forest match. And Wolves, is this a must-win for Spurs to prove that they can be a top 4 side?
These are the games that you want to win, but again, it's so early on where it's like it's not like a must win, but like it'd be nice to, put your stamp on it, get some revenge after getting clapped there the past 2 years. But I think Spurs winning this game is the least likely result. I think a draw is a realistic one. I think Newcastle taking it as well. I'm kind of teetering between those two as my prediction, but it is a mission and a half. Again, the St. James's Park, we all know how difficult it is. Of course, my team doesn't play there, but your teams do. And you know how difficult it is going there up north, making the trip against the Geordies. It's not easy against a good side as well, where, they've, despite making any signings, I think this summer, they've kept all their, big players. They try to get Mark Gueye from Crystal Palace and get that deal over the line. But in their opening games,
by the way.
I don't think they will now. I think Crystal Palace is
But bro, did you see who they started at center back? At this point, they're grasping at the academy straws. Like I don't know what the fuck's happening. Like you can't go the whole first half of the season like this. You can't.
And that can play into Spurs' favor. They are of course way more healthy, coming off the back of a strong win where they've gotten a good point.
Did Solanke get injured?
Yeah, I think he got a little bit of a knock.
He got a knock.
Yeah, okay. I don't think he'll be back for this game. Is he?
I don't know. I tried to look beforehand, and the injury report's not out yet. It'll be out tomorrow. So at the time of recording, so it could change. But I've been hearing a lot of folks mentioning that that's going to factor into this game, whether he's injured or not. So they're still monitoring it.
I just don't trust Spurs in the big moments. I'm being honest, and this is like one of them.
Solanke is out until mid-September.
Oh, there you go. International break then. Yeah, for the national break. So, which is probably smart. Because at the end of the day, they still technically have Richarlison, right? And so they can deploy that if needed, or maybe find a way to put Son up at the striker role with Kulusevski and Brendan Johnson out wide. So there's opportunities for Spurs to kind of, throw around a new front line. I'm kind of torn. What's that?
They do have Timo. They do, yeah. I think he's injured as well.
Yeah, he is. Yeah, pretty sure anyway. Because I have heard nothing about him coming back anytime soon. So we'll see. But I think I'm torn between being an Arsenal fan here and just saying this team is Spursy versus picking them, predicting them to be top 4. I personally believe it may not be the end all be all, but this is the first prove it to me game. Prove to me that you can be a top 4 side. Ange ball is supposed to be fucking pristine and beautiful and all that shit, whatever. I don't care how you get it done. This has to be one of those games where you do it. Because like Max already said, Newcastle don't look that great. They just get the result. And so I know it's hard to go to St. James's Park and get results, but to me, a draw is a minimum if you have ambitions to finish as a top 4 side. If they get smacked again, like 3-0 or some shit, it's a clinical win for Newcastle. They're not going to be a top 4 side. I'll say this early: they're not going to be a top 4 side, and that would mean I was wrong. It is what it is. So I think it's going to be a draw. I don't think Spurs win, but I don't think they get blown out again either. If they got blown out again, dude, they're trash. They're fucking awful.
I think I'm going to back the Geordies in this one because I just don't have confidence in Spurs in the big moments. Like since probably watching the Premier League, I've not even seen them win a League Cup. So it's like
fair.
It's just
fair.
Again, the big factor for me is St. James's Park because like I've seen United go there on top form and lose. I've seen Arsenal go there on top form and lose against mediocre like mid Newcastle sides. And with them having not the best of starts to their season as well, with the opponents they are facing, would they face like Southampton and Bournemouth? So expecting to get maybe 6 out of 6 there, only 4 out of 6, and they barely scrapped against Southampton at St. James's Park. But I just think that with Tottenham, they're not killers yet. They're not at that mental point yet where they can have that mentality to go out there and win these big kind of games. It's not really like a big game. It's kind of like those dodgy games that are always tough, like Newcastle away, go to Villa Park against Villa away, probably going to the London Stadium against West Ham. Those kind of games is where Tottenham struggle. They can maybe go to Anfield, nick a result, Emirates, nick a result, Old Trafford, maybe because they've done that before in the past. And they when it's against a big team, they have that extra oomph. But against those kind of good size, teetering between 7th and 11th, I think that's kind of Spurs' kryptonite.
Yeah. That's such a weird place to be in as a team, but yeah, I don't know. We'll see how it goes. I'm gonna back a draw because I really can't pick a winner with where Newcastle looks right now and just Spurs being Spurs. So I'm gonna go like a 1-1. You have the Geordies you're backing, Hafid.
I'll go. Yeah, I said draw for Nottingham Forest Wolves. So I'll keep it a bit different.
Okay, there you go. There you go. Okay, so he's back in Newcastle, Max.
This is tough. This is a tough game, man.
Right. Keep going.
It's playing at St. James Park. It's a fortress, and even in the Champions League, we've seen it. Teams that have never played there, they've struggled. And Tonali's back, so they. I don't know, man. It's just I just still don't. Even watch earlier this week against Nottingham Forest in the League Cup. It's just like they just still don't look like. They still don't look that great to me. But Spurs playing away at St. James Park, it ain't gonna be like Everton, or it ain't gonna even be like Leicester City, So this is one of the tougher games this weekend to make a prediction on.
Like if you were putting money on this game right now, who would you put the money on?
To win?
Yeah.
So if
or just the result, right? Like you said, you actually put your money where your mouth is this past weekend. I would say do it again here, right? Like
I would probably put money on the Geordies to win this game.
All right. I'm the odd one out there. That's fine. I mean, I think I don't know. I guess it's like the Leicester City match, to be honest.
I kind of think Spurs might scratch a draw or even win, but I will back the home team to win this game. I do think the first half might decide this game, though, because I think the last few times they played, the first half kind of. Each of those games, they were able to get on the score sheet early. And like once you get that crowd going, it's almost impossible to bring that shit back down. So, I think it's going to be a difficult one for Spurs, which is why I haven't really watched a ton of Tottenham. I watched more of the Leicester City game. I didn't really watch the Everton game at all because I figured it was going to be a dub. Fucking Everton.
So I was like, whatever. But I feel like you have to adapt the tactics a little bit if you're Ange, specifically for this side and how they want to play. So. We'll see how it all goes. I'm hoping it's going to be a goal fest, which this fixture has been traditionally, but we'll find out. We got 2 Newcastles and a draw. Most importantly, nobody has Spurs winning. So we'll find out how it goes. And finally, the final preview, the big match that everybody will be tuning into. It is the match of the weekend. One of the oldest, if not the oldest rivalry in the Premier League. We have Manchester United hosting Liverpool. And this is a game that, while I've been very critical of Ten Hag, this is a game that Ten Hag has traditionally been up for. And gotten the results when necessary, right? So this fixture last season ended in 2-2 at Old Trafford. I think this is going to be a tough match for Arne Slot to figure out how he wants to line up, even with the fact that Mason Mount, now that we know as of today, is not going to be available for this game.
What a flop he's been. Holy shit.
You know what's crazy too? What's crazy about this, if I'm putting myself in United fans' shoes, is that he's actually probably been one of the most impressive players to start the season. The press that has been missing from United for the last couple seasons has been led by Mason Mount. The guy is a fucking engine. His
work rate was absolutely critical in the first 2 games.
It's crazy. Like, he just sprints everywhere, bro. Like, everywhere. I was watching it, and you could see the immediate drop off in the Brighton game when he departed. Like, when he came off at half, immediately the press felt disjointed. And not that he was bad, you just didn't have every piece moving with you, or you weren't creating as much pressure as you were in the first. And so I don't know. It's kind of pull and push. It's give and take with United right now. But I still think this game is up for grabs. But I think if you guys want to actually not just draw this game and win it, in my opinion, Rashford has to fucking go, bro. He has to go. I don't back this dude. I think he's been getting enough opportunities. Like, he's not a starting caliber player anymore, in my opinion.
He's not going to get dropped.
He's not getting dropped. I mean, as much as some of us probably would like to see him get dropped for Garnacho to have, because what the lineup is probably going to be is going to be Xerxes, Bruno, Rashford, Ahmad, Cass, Manu, Mazaru it'll be Diogo on the left, Martinez, De Ligt, and Mazaru on the right. I would prefer to start Garnacho on the left.
Tom Heaton in goal.
Imagine.
Yeah,
but I think this game, we spoke about this fixture quite a few times last year, and each game was a lot of fun to watch, a lot of stressful, but I think United is going to win this game, obviously, but I think we're going to see the press we're going to have is probably not going to be the same, but it's still going to, they're still going to be there. And this Liverpool team is yet to face a press like us. They've had 2 decently easy fixtures to start off the season, and obviously this is very easy. And
I would agree with that.
We're going to press the shit out of this team. Mount's gonna be missing, but the press is not going to go. It's not going to just deplete. Like, we're still going to be pressing, and this is what Ten Hag was trying to, since the beginning, trying to get this team to do is play this high line and press. And I think we're going to win this game. I don't know. I think I last year I said that we would win the FA Cup and draw at home. I think we're going to win this game, and I think we're going to win 2-1. I think we're going to win 2-1.
My issue is just Rashford down that left-hand side against Mo Salah and Trent. There's no way, whether it's Delo player or Zarawi, they're going to have to do a single-man job defending 2 elite, attack-minded players down that flank. And if Salah and Trent are on it, I think it's just going to be lights out. I think, with the Old Trafford atmosphere and all that mumbo-jumbo, United can definitely get a result. But that's my issue. If Ten Hag, puts his balls on the table, starts Garnacho and Ahmed on the wings, I'm like, all right, mister, you've got my vote.
That's what I'm saying. Like, it's respectable. It may backfire a little bit. I just don't like this pandering to fucking Rashford. Like, in my opinion, he's gonna go down as also. I have this like what if player list. He's gonna go down as one of the bigger what if players in kind of the Prem era, in my perspective. Just because
I've seen this graphic of his FIFA ratings over the past 4 years.
God. Yes,
it's like 85, 81, 85, 81. We're now at 81. This is gonna be the 85 season.
It's just like we keep waiting for these purple patch runs to come, and that, to me, that's not what you want from a player who's, 1, making what he makes as far as wages go, but then 2, who had the amount of potential and hype when he burst onto the scene. You know what I mean? Like, I feel like Rashford actually had potential to become, in his own right, like the face of the Premier League. He really had that potential. He just did. I mean, I remember last year, bro, at one point, when I was making predictions for how any given, Prem game could go, especially with United, I basically chalked it as Rashford's going to score in this game. He's going to score. It's just going to happen. That's what else happens, right? Even when they played against Arsenal. And it did happen multiple times. Rashford's going to score. And he did. And we'd find a way back, right? But now it's bro, you got to start Garnacho. And hopefully Garnacho, I pull this shit up because it's brother, what is this? How are you going to this picture was from the disallowed goal. So he's posting a picture of a disallowed goal. As what is it? God has something planned for me. Trust the process. as like a flex after a game that he lost. Isn't this weird?
I don't think this is a flex.
I don't know. It's just a weird thing to fucking post, bro. Like I don't know.
I think you're looking too far into it. I think it's just saying. I'm
not the only one who's saying this shit. There was a lot of chatter about this when it first posted. I'm just bringing it up to get your opinion on it.
I think it's just more to the fact that he's kind of been unlucky the last 2 games with scoring wise. So I think it's just more the fact that he's
gonna miss against Fulham. Fucking hell.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. I mean,
yeah. So
Ollie Watkins had that same miss against Arsenal.
Mm-hmm.
You know, like I think we're early and shit like that happens, but
yeah, it's early.
I think the energy Garnacho shows is what I would be most encouraged about if I was a United fan. And like Rashford, dude,
I love Rashford, but it's the body language that kills me.
Yeah, bro, he looks like he doesn't even give a shit half the time.
Body. Like Rashford has been my favorite player since he's came into United. And you can see from years before and now, like the body language is just like it's so prima donna, and I hate it. I feel like
he's collecting a paycheck. It's harsh, but I feel that way. I watch him play. If it was my team, I'd be like, get this motherfucker off. I'm not saying don't put him on the game sheet, but just I don't want to see him start. I want to make him feel like he has to earn this spot. And Garnacho, to me, while he's not the best finisher, I'm willing to bet would offer United more going forward.
This is why English players don't play outside England. He tries to do that in any other league with any other team.
Torn apart.
He'd get killed.
Yeah.
And, you know, because he's Mac born and bred, they kind of, it's not like when Anthony Martial has a plain face but runs, they criticize him for, it doesn't look like he's trying. But with Rashford, he just, barely does anything, and there's, nothing. I think Rashford is I completely agree with Jose. He's the biggest what-if player, because we know on his day he could be a fantastic player, but his day comes like once every 3 years. Like it's, he's partying more times than he is playing well.
Yeah, you get like more quotes from him at the club than you actually get from like his post-game conferences.
He would not leave Barcelona alive if he was doing that there. My God.
I don't know, man. It's again, it's
just a
damn shame because of how much potential he had. Yeah, I'm not like saying he's a bad player. He's
pretty shy right now, but it's also on Ten Hag or persist with him.
This is the one thing that I think Ten Hag really needs to get better on. Like, it's stop picking. I guess maybe it's a little bit of favoritism, but also maybe a little bit of the board saying
you got to practice the team. If
you can bench 90 million, 100 million Anthony, you can bench Rashford.
You can bench Rashford. Yeah.
A good example of this is in the opening. I'm going to bring back the Barcelona here because Barcelona in the beginning of the 17-18 season, Suarez in the first 10 games scored no goals. The man was missing sitter after sitter, openness left, right, and center. But Valverde persists with them because he's the best striker in the world. Once he scores that first goal, the floodgates will open, and that's exactly what happened. That's a good example of trusting a player that will give you that performance back. It's now been Ten Hag in the job. He's going to his third season. Let's start from the beginning of last season. From the beginning of last season until now, Rashford's done nothing. And Ten Hag keeps persisting, push for his contract renewal as well. I get it, the face of the brand is going to play a bit of a part in it as well, but $300,000 a week?
Yeah.
Come on. Yeah. I mean, fucking hell.
If Raheem Sterling is getting dragged by Chelsea fans for being on $325K a week and not contributing, like I think Rashford needs that same treatment from the United fans. Like I think he just does.
Well, he is getting a lot of people are not.
There's just still some empathizers. I mean, like you're supporting your club, like I get it, but there's still some sympathizers out there for Rashford. And I want to see everybody hold him accountable. That's what I'm saying. A hell of a player had a lot of potential and just like never really saw it through. I think Ten Hag needs to, in this type of game, a big game against Liverpool, to propel you ahead of them on the table. I think you play just your best 11. I will say when it does come to big games like this, Rashford usually does turn up a bit. Do you think he turned up in that FA Cup game you guys won? This past season, the FA Cup
4-3?
Wait for the 4-3?
Yes.
I gotta.
Yeah, it's fine. Jog it back, but I think he was decent. I think Ahmad was better.
Well, yeah, Ahmad came on and brought some energy, but that's also at the later stages of the game where a guy who's coming off the bench with fresh legs is just gonna do what he does. But my point was the one moment of brilliance against City at the Etihad. That's the things that Rashford does do. Because he is capable
of
doing
Valverde, he just hits the ball pretty well. Like, what do you freaking do? It's just I think Rashford's ceiling is so high.
It is.
But I think he got too big too quickly. And I think it all got to him.
Yeah.
I mean, the United brand will do that. But I do think he was capable of like stepping into that limelight and being like, I can be that guy for United. And he showed it. It's just been so inconsistent.
He should be it.
Yeah, he should be. And like again, what worries me the most is that like in the first few games of any season, that is when you're your most fresh, you're most lively. You won't be maybe in crisp form, but the energy will be there, the body language will be there. And like the fact that it's not, and we're 2 games in, I'm like, dude, start Garnacho. Like,
especially when you're supposed to be more hungry coming to the season, where you got dropped from your national team for the Euros.
Yeah. Another final that he didn't get to
participate in. The recall list today, Angel Gomez and Morgan White getting ahead of him.
Yeah. To be fair, there's some interesting call-ups there too, right? You know, like Rico Lewis getting in ahead of Kyle Walker, which I'm curious to see how that went down. I'm sure it was fine, but it's just interesting, right? What Lee Carsley's doing. But you know, neither here nor there. I think if I'm making a prediction on this game at Old Trafford, man. To
be fair, with Mac's prediction, a lot of my United friends they're all said 2-1 as well.
Oh, so really?
I don't know if I should back them. Like a draw is kind of boring.
That's like 2-1 is probable, because I'll be honest. I don't know if you guys saw the little clip between Arne Slot and Trent, right? That little fucking on the bench, the talking he gave him. Trent fucking just like almost like rolled his eyes when he walked away. I don't know. I think Arne Slot's gonna be. I think he's gonna overthink this. I don't know why. I just think he will. I think he'll overthink this game. It's the first big game in the Prem for him. The battle of the bald managers. You know, I don't know, man. I think
the bald Dutch managers.
Yeah, that's true. The bald Dutch managers. I don't know. I do think the midfield for me is who's going to win this, because you have United's midfield that can get stretched without the likes of Mason Mount on the pitch. Ugarte won't be ready for this one. Which is he even officially signed?
No, he'll be signed today.
He's getting signed. He's getting signed too late though, so he won't be.
Yeah. So he probably won't be officially registered and available for this one. But and for that reason, I think it's just going to be. It'll be like who gets stretched less in the midfield, because I think United will be able to take advantage of that from Liverpool's perspective too, because they're gonna be playing guys who don't play the 6 normally. I think I'm gonna take United. I think 2-1 is a safe bet because they're at home. I think if this was at Anfield, it'd be a different story. But I think Arne Slot will somewhat overthink this game, and it will play into Ten Hag's hands a little bit. So, but I will say this: he has to give Garnacho. He has to give him some meaningful.
I'm sitting my arse around the fence. I'm going with the draw simply on the fact that I feel like Ten Hag's going to pick Rashford. If you told me the lens right now and Garnacho was starting, I'd be a bit more confident to pick United. But I just think there's no way Trent and Salah are not going to cook or at least do something down our right-hand side. Basically, Chubby wanting Delo, Mazzawari, whoever plays at left back. You don't know how inconsistent and a bit lazy Rashford is in defensive transition. So I feel like this has a 1-1 written all over it, but a lot of United fans surprisingly are really confident somehow about this game. So it'll be interesting to see how it plays.
I mean, you look at it last year. Last year was the worst year by far. They still got results.
Yeah, well, Ten Hag has a good record against Liverpool at home. So
I
think that's also another factor. Plus, this is kind of a must-win game for him. Like this is a game that he needs to show the board and our new ownership that we are competing with the best, and
that he's the guy, right? Show Ineos that he is the guy.
This is why you brought me back. Like this is why you chose me. So this is kind of an important match for him.
Yeah,
or he needs to realize that this is an important match for him, because I mean, I'm not his friend or anything.
Yeah, I agree with that though. I agree. There's just as much pressure. I just think on Ten Hag, I think Ten Hag will handle it better than Arne Slot will. That's just kind of how I think it will go. So, and Arne Slot, bro, I don't know what he's got against Darwin, but he may have to call upon him for this game, and especially if Jota, for whatever reason, misfiring, although Jota started off the season really, really damn well. So, we'll see how it all goes, man. But I think United will win. Max thinks United will win, and Hoffman with the cheeky draw there for the two sides. All right, man. That is it. That is our full in-depth preview. We'll now go into our quick fire predictions for the last 5 games, and we'll get out of here, fellas. Let's do it. Brentford hosting Southampton.
Who cares?
I don't want to say it like that, bro. But I'm just like, I don't want to shout.
Just give me Brentford.
Give me Brentford. We'll back the Thomas Frank.
Tell you what, man. Give me the Ramsdale hype. You know what I mean? Maybe Southampton.
But I don't think Ramsdale will start this game.
No, he won't. He'll not on time. He'll literally the deal just got done. Yeah, give me Thomas Frank at home. But when Ramsdale starts playing, I think Southampton will be able to turn things around a little bit, because I think he'll be a significant upgrade.
Not that much incentive. You're only going to get an extra $1 million if they stay up. It's not that big of a deal. Whatever.
Hey, add-ons are add-ons, bro. Incentives are incentives.
Yeah,
Everton versus Bournemouth. This is actually a sneaky.
Dice versus Iraola. Oh,
I know. Sneaky good game. Sneaky good game.
Well, it's
a must win for Dyche, I think.
It is. It is.
I'm back in Everton. 3-1.
Is Brentwood going to be
3-1? No shot.
I'm
3 goals?
I'm
It's
predicting.
Greenwood-
Who's going to fucking score him?
I'm predicting a Julian Araujo stinker.
Why? Why would you predict against? Okay, that's fine.
I'm
Yeah,
predicting
fine.
an Evan Nilsson disaster class up front.
Give me Bournemouth, bro. I can't believe
Yeah,
the
give me
bias.
it. Oh, yeah.
I'm also
Brandon
predicting.
is hurt until after international. Give me Bournemouth.
Give me Bournemouth.
I'm
1000%.
also predicting Kepa mistaking goal as well. Because Neto's
There's
leaving.
so much bias wrapped around Hoppett's pick.
No, because Neto's leaving to Arsenal, so that means Kepa's definitely starting.
But I'm saying, like,
So-
so you. I mean, he's still a decent keeper. It's not like shit.
Watch 3-1. I'm gonna be in that group chat. Y'all are getting that end of it.
I just thought he scored 3 goals.
Wait,
for Everton.
3-1. McNeil's 100% scoring. That's my
It
guy.
ain't Calvert-Lewin, so I'm like, okay, is Bit looking to come off the bench and
McNeil-
score? They just got rid of Malpai, so like,
McNeil, Adrissa Gay, and cheeky little Branthwaite header. There you go.
by
He's
the
not
way,
playing, bro.
You guys see
not-
Malpai's
Michael
by
Keane
the
header.
way?
What
Did you
was
guys
it?
see his tweet when they announced the "Here we go"? Like he's going to Marseille. Did you see the Shawshank Redemption fucking gift or the video that he put? Like he was getting out of the fucking prison cell that he was in. Bro.
Yeah, I'm gonna miss the Mope match.
I will, man. I will.
Good
Honestly,
days.
that was a great tweet. I was like, dude, that's the shithousery is amazing. All right, Ipswich Town hosting Fulham.
Fulham will win this
Fulham.
game.
Fulham's
It's
gonna win.
embarrassing.
No trap game potential in this one.
Nah.
First goal against City. You
Fulham
never know.
look pretty good. Your boy ESR.
Oh, that was a great goal. That was a great goal. I'm not gonna
Great
lie, I
goal.
got a little sentimental, bro. It was the Hale End connection. You know what I mean? Him and Iwobi. I feel like it's like Fulham somewhat Arsenal light. You know what I mean? I don't know. It's I want him to do well. I have nothing against Fulham. I want him to do well. So it's good to see him scoring.
Yeah, and Jedi's back-to-back Premier League left back of the week.
Bro, he's got the most consistent tackles per 90 on average right now. Anthony Robinson, man, like when he wants to play, he balls. I hope he does really well this season, especially with Poch potentially looming, right? Watching over.
And then Bird probably going to start this game as well. Some defensive stability for Fulham in the midfield. So
yeah, I'll back Fulham. I just think Ipswich Town at some point they got to get some results, man.
The time they get results like December, January, February, when all the teams are tired after
I
playing.
want to see the Luton Town run from Ipswich this season. That's what I want to see. That's what I want to see. Last year, Luton Town had some games where I'm like, damn, bro, they might do it. Leicester City hosting Villa.
Take a little draw at King.
I was gonna say this smells like a draw. This smells like a draw.
That would be a disappointment for Villa, bro. They're a Champions
I think
League.
Villa scored like in the first half, like
20th
20th minute walk-ins, and then Jamie Vardy like 70th minute to nick a draw. You know, it's just
bro. If Jamie Vardy scores again, I don't know. I might have to rethink my whole like golden boot prediction that I had.
I'm back in a draw. There's got to be a draw somewhere in these three.
But against Villa, I feel like, dude, Rodgers looked really good for Villa. I feel like he'd run all over Leicester City.
So many people are working for this Rodgers guy.
Dude, I'm not gonna lie. He dragged Partey a couple times. Now Partey's a little bit older, but
you like 10 games, and then we'll talk. All this one game.
It was a good underrated pickup for Villa. That's all I'll say.
Yeah, for sure.
Pickup. Bro, give me Villa. I feel like they're gonna win. If they draw, hold my hands up. If they draw, or if Leicester City win, holy shit, I'll really hold my hands up.
They win.
I think Unai Emery will get the job done, though. I think he'll get the job done. And then finally, Chelsea hosting Crystal Palace.
I'm gonna say Crystal Palace 1-0. Chadri header.
That's the Chatty Riyadh hype.
They signed LaCroix today as well, so
they did. That's gonna be a good
vibe
duo
with Chadri. That's easy. It's easy lockdown.
He looked good actually this past game, despite the loss. He looked good.
Now for real though, probably a Chelsea when they're on decent form now.
Chelsea.
Are they?
Yeah, it was 6-2 win. They
I think
they go to like no.
But I think the most important thing is Enzo is like, I'm playing these set of players, and everyone else can fuck off. So like, I think like because the biggest thing that
they might get Osimhen as well. You know, damn.
Bro, I heard they're going after Osimhen and Sancho at the same time.
Well, Sancho, they only want Sancho.
If
we take some of their players, but we're not giving them Sancho for it.
Bro,
you can't get dumped by Sancho and Mount. Surely not. Come on now. It can't be that dumb. But yeah, they're just signing these like good players. I don't know where they're gonna fit. Nicholas Jackson is gonna be on the bench, all upset.
Nicholas Jackson's not a bad player.
I heard he might go on loan to Villa if that happens. So
really,
yeah.
Villa
actually wouldn't be a bad move for him.
Yeah.
I feel like a strike partnership with him Watkins would be nice, but if he's just going to compete with Watkins, what's the point? Just let Chelsea compete with Osimhen.
Yeah, him and Unai would have that Villarreal connection. I mean, I
don't know. Remember, Champions League is fucking a little bit longer this year, so
The group isn't end until the end of January. I'm like, what?
Isn't that crazy?
Genuinely futures for Spanish teams. You have Super Cup, you have Copa, you have League, you have Champions League.
Bro,
play every other day.
Everybody in UCL is like definitely hard adjustments for this shit. It's gonna be crazy.
I'm telling you, man.
I don't know. We'll see. I really want to back Crystal Palace. I think Palace get their first points of the season. I'm gonna say draw.
That's the bridge, though.
Yeah, still, I'm gonna say draw.
Fair enough.
Hey, well, Jose also said, when Chelsea beat down someone bad, they usually fuck up the next game. So.
They do usually fuck up the next game. So I think maybe they're riding high off but maybe that fuck up was the Conference League playoff game. I don't know.
Yeah,
it could have been that.
It could have been that. You could have.
I think it'll be close, but I think Palace will. Glasner has to feel the pressure now a little bit, right? You're winless in the first two after how you finished last season. I think he gets the lads up for this one. So I think it's gonna be a draw. All right, do we get Max? You said it's gonna be Palace, Chelsea, and Chelsea for Hofford as well. All right.
Yeah.
That works, man. Okay, cool. That's our preview. Those are our predictions. Guys, for everybody sticking around to the end of the video, thank you so much. If you haven't done so already, man, I said it before, like the video, subscribe to the channel. But most importantly, the United Liverpool game is going to be the talk of the town this weekend for everybody. Let us know who you have down below, man. And let us know if you think Rashford should still be starting for this team. I'm willing to bet it's no, but maybe the experience matters. I'm not really sure, but I'm really curious to see what the community thinks. So let us know in the comments down below. But that is it for our weekly Yanks of the Round Table episode. So again, from everybody here on the show, my name's Jose. That's Max. That's Hoffman. We'll catch you guys next time.